Yeah, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Fat Corner Debate series on 2023 Nigerian general elections. My name is Gideon Ogunniye. I'm the project lead of Fat Corner project. At Fat Corner, we believe that debate is an important part of our democracy, and our aim in our debate series is to educate young people in Africa, in Nigeria, on their roles in politics, in leadership, in governance of their respective country. So today we're going to be debating the vice presidential candidates of the major political parties in Nigeria. Three of the major political parties in Nigeria: APC, PDP, and Labour Party. And the focus of our debate today will be on their track records, their profile, why they are in office or why they are serving in any position. So you can see the video of our previous debates, of our previous presentations on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. If you look for Fat Corner on Facebook and Fat Corner on YouTube, FACT in uppercase and Corner in lowercase. And you can also see more about Fat Corner on our website, www.fatcorner.org. So for today's debate, I have three young Nigerians. It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Afolabi Sanni, who is an academic researcher and also the CEO of Afolabi Nigeria Limited. Welcome to the show, Mr. Afolabi.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. And I also have Honorable Oluwatobi Ebiwonjumi, who is a member representing Okitipupa Constituency 1 at Ondo State Youth Parliament. He's also the chairman of House Committee on ICT. Welcome to the debate, Mr. Oluwatobi.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for having me.
And I also have Mr. Korede, who is a project management professional. He's a public analyst on politics and strategic foresight. So Mr. Korede will be speaking for Obi and Dati Baba Ahmed ticket, while Honorable Oluwatobi will be speaking for Tinubu Shetima ticket APC, and Mr. Afolabi Sanni will be speaking for Atiku Okowa ticket of PDP. So I'll just go straight to the point because of our time. All is now set for the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria with the emergence of the presidential and vice presidential candidates of the major political parties, APC, PDP. I think there is a noise coming. So I take that again. All is now set for the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. Okay.
There's a noise from certain hand.
Please, if you can mute your mic, and when I call you, then you can unmute yourself so that the noise is not coming on the stream. Yeah, okay. So let me go again. All is now set for the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria with the emergence of the presidential and vice presidential candidates of the major political parties, APC, PDP, Labour Party, and NNPP. So, like I mentioned earlier, we are discussing the vice presidential candidates of these parties. We want to see who fits the bill. So I will start with you, Mr. Afolabi, on your vice presidential candidate of PDP. So in his remark, when the presidential standard bearer of PDP, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, was unveiling Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, who is the governor of Delta State, as his running mate, he said that it is a difficult decision to take, which he has been called upon to take, and that Okowa personifies not only seriousness that the current movement represents for our country, but also the future that our young people yearn for and deserve. So the key word there is the future that our young people yearn for and deserve. So I want to ask you, what is your assessment of Okowa administration in Delta State on education and youth empowerment? Why do you think it fits the bill to be the vice president of Nigeria come 2023? Over to you, Mr. Afolabi.
Yeah, thank you very much. I may say that as a nation, I don't think we've ever been that fortunate to have a joint ticket in which the two parties, the president and the vice president, are well prepared for the office, like we currently have it. We are talking of Okowa. Okowa is a serving governor of Delta State presently, and looking at his track record on education and human capacity development, the record speaks for itself. Recently, the NUC granted autonomy, for license for 3 universities in Delta State, fully owned by the state government, which is part of his effort to develop human capital through education for the state. And I think I've never seen a state governor that has recorded such feats in the history of this our democracy ever since 1999 to date. And not only that, the focus on primary and secondary school education over there has been very wonderful. He established about 50 primary schools in Delta State recently in his administration, and of course, ICT development in primary and secondary school education. Now, let us leave that and let's go to entrepreneurship skills development. I have it on record that Okowa administration since 2015 to date has trained over 100,000 Nigerians, 100,000 youths for different skills acquisition, training, and entrepreneurship skills. And that actually creates employment within the state. Not only that, mopping unemployment youth from the streets, giving them jobs, and those youths will be able to contribute to the economy of the state by paying taxes, of course, and by employing people. So looking at his track record, I think the opportunity he had as a governor, he has been able to utilize it, and he has actually prepared himself for a bigger role, which is the vice president, having it in mind that it is the vice president of the country that is actually in charge of the economy, going by the constitution of Nigeria. So the office of the governor has prepared Okowa well, and I think Atiku made the right choice. And I believe that if Nigerians give them the chance, part of the success will be replicated in a bigger platform, which is at the national level. And in my opinion, I believe this is the best ticket we have at the moment. And if we truly desire a better Nigeria, these are people that have actually demonstrated their capacity and capability. And I believe that we are in for a better future as a nation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Afolabi. So the floor is open to you, Mr. Oluwatobi or Mr. Korede. Do you want to respond to what Mr. Afolabi has said? He said that Okowa track record in Delta State in education, in human development, makes him the best candidate, makes Atiku Okowa the best candidate for Nigerian president come 2023. So what do you want? What is your reaction to what Mr. Afolabi has said? Any of you can go first.
I'll pass for now. Okowa is not very solid candidate, so no point.
Okay. So Oluwatobi, do you have anything to say?
No. Well, okay. I wouldn't say based on education, I wouldn't say anything contrary. But that does not still place him on the edge to be the best position to emerge.
Okay. So let's go to the APC. I think the APC vice presidential candidate, the choice of the Muslim ticket is generating more controversies than every other political party. But let me say what Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is the presidential aspirant of APC, let me say what he said when he chose Senator Kashim Shettima as his running mate. He said that I believe this is the man who can help me bring the best governance to all Nigerians, regardless of their religious affiliation or consideration of ethnicity or region. However, so many people have criticized and have raised concern about this Muslim ticket because it departs from the convention where you have prominent parties feeding a Christian Muslim ticket to reflect Nigeria's religious diversity. So this decision has been criticized as the one that is aimed at causing further division in the country. Some people are saying that Muslim ticket is an agenda to Islamization, is an agenda at Islamization of Nigeria. So what is your reaction to this? Are you saying that we should focus on what Senator Kazim Shettima brings on the table based on his track record, or we should focus on this argument of Muslim ticket being dangerous for the country? Over to you, Mr. Oluwatobi.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for a wonderful moment like this to at least share my opinion on a popular legal issue concerning the nomination of Senator Kashim Shettima as the running mate to the incoming president of Nigeria. That's the person of Ahmed Bola Tinubu. As a matter of fact, Nigeria is a country where we make noise on the ephemerals, we major on the minor. When we look at the issues bedeviling the country, you will see, as a matter of fact, it is not still what we call the religion issues. Although people hide under religion to perpetrate evil, but if you take your time to study, you will realize that it is more of political interest. It is more of political alienation to have bring up some gangs of people to foment troubles in any part of the country. And it is not only in politics, it is not only in political life. If you go to some communities where you have their obas, that circle where you have the obas, you have some set of people that are fomenting trouble on behalf of the oba. Now we have to trace our history. Where does these things emanated from? That is one about those that are fomenting troubles. Call them any name by tendency of whatever they may be. But then presentation of Shettima as a Muslim person to be the running mate of our incoming president, it will be an aberration for people castigating such. For the fact that someone is from a Muslim background does not mean the person should not respect humanity, or it does not still mean the person has not been respecting humanity. Go and look at his track record. Go and look at his track record. He met the crisis getting to the government. On getting to the government as the governor of Borno State in 2007, he met the trouble there where the Boko Haram has already started fomenting trouble across the northeast. But on getting on board, he made sure he put up structures where that's security structures with the local hunters and vigilantes. So they were able to make sure that they work in light with this and every other security apparatus of the state, so that they can be able to track some of these people to some extent. One, two, everything they did as against any individual, not minding their religious affiliation, it makes sure it gets into the root and at least pacify everybody involved. For instance, if you look at Borno State, many churches were burnt, mosques were burnt. But if it is visible to the blind and audible to the deaf, the Khan chairman raised this recently from Borno State that Kashim Shettima built every single church that was burnt down during his tenure. The same thing is applicable to schools. The same thing is applicable to mosques. So it is not fine. We might associate probably because of their affiliation to where they come from. We say because those people are Muslims, they are targeting the Christians. It might not actually be true because we are not there. Because if you go to another part of the country where they are fomenting trouble, would you say they are targeting some set of people? It's not only in the north. It's not only peculiar to the north. But let's look at the individual. Let's look at what about the one that is happening in Zamfara? Would you say it is targeted that is the Christians alone, for someone who is working in his farm, and some persons will meet the person in the farm and they kill him?
Thank you, Honorable Oluwatobi. What I want to ask you is that those that are saying that it doesn't reflect the diversity of religion in Nigeria, that ticket, and that is not fair to Christian community or Christian population that is up to close to 50% of the population of Nigeria. So what do you say to those people that feel like that ticket does not represent our diversity, does
Yes.
not fair to the Christians in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. This is because we allowed religion to be like a major yardstick where we measure our diversity these days. And this religion we mention, we go about preaching Islamic and Christianity. We have more that religion, so to say. And our diversity does not really depend on religious diversity. We have ethnic diversity. When you come to Ondo State, we have many ethnicities in Ondo State. We have the Josh, we have the Yorubas, and we have many other tribes in Ondo State. If you go to other states like that, these are for instance, it is because some leaders has actually been able to work on our mind and made it look like the religious settings is the only means of agitating for for a certain group or to make them relevant, which is not supposed to be. Now, for instance, if you look at the military era, who talks about Muslim or Christian tickets? Then will you tell me those that are governing then that we're able to do viable road constructions? If you look at most of the roads we still apply to today, it is done during the military era. Is it done for the Christian or the Muslim? Was it done for the Christian or the Muslim, or was it done for the pagan or the traditional worshippers?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Oluwatobi. Let me come to the other debaters. I see Mr. Afolabi shaking his head. Do you want to respond to what Mr. Oluwatobi is saying? He's saying that we should not be worried about Muslim ticket, that even though some people are using it to divide us, but that is not what matters. He's saying that because of competency. So what is your reaction to this?
Thank you very much. Two quick things, sir. Number one, let us talk about the personality involved. We are talking about a Shetima. Two questions. What was the role he played during the Chibok girl adoption? Kidnapped by Boko Haram at that time. He was a governor. The then minister in charge of education then wrote him that they should not write the exam, that place is not secure, that they should schedule the exam at a different venue. He went ahead to conduct the examination, and of course we all saw the outcome of it. One, then two, where was Kabiru Sokoto first arrested? This same Kabiru Sokoto, the Boko Haram kingpin, was first arrested at Borno State Governor's Lodge in Abuja. What's the relationship between Shetima and that guy? We are talking about national security here. Bringing a Boko Haram supporter to the villa poses a major national security threat to us as a nation. That is one. Then number two, you are talking about a Christian ticket and Muslim ticket in a diversified country like ours. This is not 1993 of MK Abiola.
I think Afolabi is frozen there. Korede, do you want to add to this while we are waiting for Afolabi to come back?
I don't know if I should talk about this candidate, or perhaps when I'm talking about my candidate, I may just say one or two things about the other.
Okay. So, Oluwatobi, do you want to respond to what Afolabi was saying? He was trying to finger Shetima in Boko Haram attacks in the north. He was talking about the Chibok girls' abduction. That even though he was giving a warning that he should not allow the school to be opened, he allowed the school to be opened, and the girls were kidnapped. So, what do you want to say to this?
Yeah, very quickly. I have to be sincere. This is when you talk about security matters, it is more complicating than what you think you know. As a matter of fact, as Kasim Shettima is a sitting governor, when it happens, fine, he must have gotten the information. But what if he thinks he put on, is trying to put up, most of us will dwell on the information that at our disposal, which might not actually be correct. Fine, that's one. Two is that when it happens, you got information that they should not use that place for exam. For a sitting governor to tell you that don't bother, we'll make sure we man our security men so that probably we protect the environment. Would you say because the capacity of the people that came in to overwhelm those that were there does not mean you could not do anything at all? Look for instance, on what Ondo State has been doing in terms of security. You could expect that someone could come from a strange land to come and infiltrate Ondo State and kill about 40 people. It is always like that sometimes. Before you know it, it will happen from behind, and it will surprise you. So that does not mean it does not put in place measures against such information or to mitigate such information.
Okay, thank you very much.
It might just be beyond him at that instance.
Okay, let me
if you look at it very well, aftermath is still is the one that first the current security architecture that is helping the Nigerian civil forces there, which is the local security architecture there. It is Shettima that set it up, and they are doing excellently well, more than every other state in the Northeast as we speak.
Okay, I think we've lost Mr. Afolabi, but I hope that we'll have him back. Let me go to Labour Party, Obi and Baba Ahmed ticket, and this question is for you, Mr. Korede. So, why presenting Senator Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed as his running mate at an event in Abuja? Peter Obi stated that after thorough search and consultations, he thinks that Baba Ahmed fit into his vision and that of his party to take Nigerian back. So what does this mean, to take Nigerian back? So he said that this is our right to secure and unite and make Nigeria productive. So the two key words there is to make Nigeria productive and to take Nigerian back. So what does Datti Baba Ahmed brings on the table that you think makes him a better candidate than Okowa of Delta State or Shettima of Borno State?
Thank you for the question and thank you for having me. Sometime in 2018, I turned on my television and I was watching an interview with a gentleman whom I didn't so much know at that point, and it was talking about procurement and corruption in Nigeria. And this gentleman said, over 70% of corruption in Nigeria happens in procurement. And the way to curb corruption is to prevent those corruption from happening in the first place, not going after people to arrest them after it has happened. And that resonated with me because in my professional life, I've been opportune to deal with procurement business process because I'm a project manager. I've deployed ERPs, SAP, Microsoft Dynamics Navision to run procurement processes for organizations, including a state government. So I understand procurement process. So that resonated with me. And this is a man that understands some of the major problems Nigeria has and is able to provide solutions to it. Up until that time, I had never in my entire life heard any politician speak to that problem of corruption in that systemic, intelligent, and strategic manner as that gentleman did. And the man in question is Datti Baba Ahmed. And that day, even though I knew that this man was an aspirant, he was likely not going to win to become a candidate, I said, this man is a man to look out for. So when it came around this time with LP, it was a thing of joy to me. Datti Baba Ahmed is a man of intelligence, is an educated man, as we know, unlike some other people. He's got a BSc and an MSc in economics, and he's got a doctorate degree from Westminster University. He's a businessman. He's successful in his business. He has always been the one of those who speak against corruption in Nigeria. And not only does he do that, He provides solutions. This is a man that is saying that Nigeria needs to create a middle class. And what is his approach to that? He said, first, we need to create a minimum basic literacy level. And then we need to create enlightenment beyond just literacy level, enlightenment. And then it goes to education and then to professionalism. So he said that's a pyramid to creating economic paradigm shift in Nigeria. And he particularly talked about the literacy and the enlightenment level, that if we're able to get our people to be literate and to be enlightened politically, in terms of civil education, in terms of, philosophically, enlightenment of our people, we'll be able to create a middle class. And for a nation to prosper, you need a middle class. So he understands the problems and he knows the solutions to the problems. This is a man that was able to beat an Ahmed Makarfi. Ahmed Makarfi was a former governor of Kaduna State 2 terms. He was able to beat him in 2011 to Kaduna North Senatorial District. Yes, even though it was later overturned, but for him to have beat Makarfi, it shows he's a man that has political weight. People have said they don't know him, but people who know him knows that he has political weight. This is a man. Is that my time up?
I don't know. Okay, I think so. But yeah,
me...
let me allow the other debaters to respond to all you have said. So what you have said, some people will want to say that, okay, this man has the theory of what we need to do, but he doesn't have the experience of someone like a governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa, or like ex-governor of Borno State, Shetima. So some people will say that, oh, this is good on paper, but when it comes to the realities of Nigeria state, these are not implementable. I don't know whether Afolabi want to respond to what Korede said.
Yeah, I have a quick response. I will want to respond to Mr. Korede now, and of course, I wish I would go back to the other brother the other time. Now, the question is this: fine, Dati Baba Ahmed. In fact, one thing that I'm impressed about him is he has a university in Abuja, and the facility. The last time I was there, the facility is very impressive. But the issue is this: let's move beyond theories. Part of the problem we are facing now is that we couldn't actually profile Buhari's capacity and capability when he was in government. But Dati Baba Ahmed has never held an executive position before at the public office. So we don't really have much history as regards his performance. But when the name Dati Baba Ahmed is mentioned to my hearing, what comes to my mind is integrity. Just like Mr. Korede said earlier. This was a man that rigged himself in to be a senator in 2011 under a CPC, Buhari's party then, CPC. And when the victory was obtained at the tribunal then, both at the tribunal and the Court of Appeal, the ground for turning down the victory was because they said there were ballot stuffing. Ballot stuffing can be akin to overvoting. You understand? So someone that failed integrity at that level, how should we now take such person serious at the national level? Despite the fact that we were deceived by Buhari with his own integrity then. Why are we sure we're not fall in the same trap? That is just my simple question.
Before Korede answer the question, I don't know whether Oluwatobi want to add to the question so that Korede can respond to them at once.
Yeah, thank you very much. It is not enough to come up because you say someone has not been to executive office to say he cannot hold an elective office. But nevertheless, when you look at his track record, he has been in the government for a long while. In 2006, I think, was it 2006? 2006, yeah, it was House of Rep. It was House of Rep. Yeah, from 2003 to 20. Yeah, before he became a senator. Yeah, it was a member of House of Rep. And when you look at it categorically at that time, 2 times, yes. When you look at it categorically, he was on this fine. He was one of those that stood against the total bidding of our then president. But go and ask very well. Virtually all of them they were doing as against the bidding then were on the side of the former vice president, which is the president of the Atiku Abubakar, who is contesting now. And Atiku financed everything they are doing as against the interest of the incumbent president. Will you tell me, as at that time, he has not been gotten anything from government as probably in form of compensation or any way? Because someone, my other brother that spoke the other time talks about corruption, and corruption starts from anywhere. You can't tell me you are working in line with a corrupt person and you are not corrupt to get something from him. One, two. Now we are talking about corruption, and how do you say someone stands out in a corrupt system, which he has been for almost a decade? So more than a decade, sorry. So he has been there contesting and recontesting. So if there's anything corrupt in the system, what has been the let me say his proposition to the government to make sure that even though he is in the system, he is speaking against this thing in the system, he will not allow corruption to stand. He is proposing such a bill, he is proposing such an idea to the government. So when the government is doing anything contrary, let him speak to the public. The government is doing contrary to what I propose, and this is what I think would sustain the masses in terms of corruption eradication. What can you say about it?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Oluwatobi. So over to you, Korede.
Yeah, thank you. First, about experience. Dati Baba Ahmed is an experienced politician, is an experienced leader. He has done it before. You don't have to have become a governor to be able to be a good president. We're not looking for experienced thieves. We're looking for experienced performers. We're looking for experienced people of integrity. That's what we're looking for. The Nigerian state has come to the point where for us to move forward economically, there has to be a reset. In terms of security, there has to be a reset. The world is watching us. If we do not change the kind of leadership we have, we are very much likely to not have foreign direct investment into Nigeria because the international community has lost confidence in the kind of leaders we have. So this guy gives us that opportunity. Talking about the election, after you spoke, Mr. Afolabi, I went to check online again and see if I could get that claim of ballot stalking. I couldn't find any. So if you could please provide for us the evidence of ballot stalking. There could be different reasons why an election was overturned. As a matter of fact, you could have won an election and it would get overturned, like in the case of Peter Obi, and he fought for it and he went back there. So the fact that somebody's election was overturned does not necessarily connote that they cheated. However, like I said, if you have any evidence to that effect, please present them to us and let us review them, because as far as I'm concerned, I've checked 5 pages of Google. Page 1, page 2, 5 pages. I could not see one that says the election was overturned as a result of ballot stalking. Every single person here today knows that Dati Baba Ahmed is the candidate to beat. You know it. Let's leave sentiment aside. This is the future of our children we're talking about. Dati Baba Ahmed is the best of all these candidates. Not an Okowa, who was with James Ibori the thief. Not a Shetima, who is a terrorist or who is supporting terrorists. Those are not the people we need. We need people that can do the work. Performance.
Okay. Shot has been fired at you, Afolabi, at your candidate, and to you as well, Ebiwonjumi. I think let me give you 1 minute to respond to that before we move to the second question. 1 minute for you, Afolabi.
Well, yeah, fine. Okowa has been in government since 1999, first as a commissioner and then later as a governor. But just like I said, in my own brand of politics, I look at what you stand to offer. Okowa's records, they are there for us to see. This is someone that really understands the nitty-gritty of governance. This is someone that has been adding value, providing solution at every opportunity he has to serve his people. So I believe it's adding value to the country. If given the opportunity, it's going to add value to the country. And I believe that the area where we are presently challenged as a nation, which is security, economy, and education, I think he's well equipped enough to actually provide solution to them and then get us moving again as a nation. So that's it.
One minute, Mr. Oluwatobi. 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you very much. I would not want to attack the sensibilities of any candidate, but as a matter of fact, let us get this correct. These people are running mates. They have someone who come with the mandate of coming to govern. 1, 2. The thing is that Shettima, whether you like it or not, is a distinct individual. When you look at him, someone is talking about Christianity, religion. Shettima have a closest SSA from Asaba, who is from the south, Okowa's hometown. He has a closest SSA on community matters, who are to advisor on community matters, who is from Anambra State, from the southeast. So how many southeastern states allows a from someone from southwest or northern state to be SA or commissioner in their community land? That's one thing. Two, when you talk about someone is not doing this, is not doing that, because you are accusing him of being a Boko Haram, but you are wrong. It's a wrong concept. But because when you have Obasanjo on board here in Southwest to be the president, because you have OPC ruling these communities, does not mean Obasanjo is an OPC member. And it does not, that does not call every other Yoruba person an OPC person. Please, let's correct that notion. Because in the long run, you realize that Obasanjo fought tooth and nail to silence this set of people. And the same way, Shettima in his own capacity put up structures to make sure Boko Haram is being silenced in Borno State. And when you go to North State to today, Borno State is still one of the most economically vibrant states in the Northeast. Well,
okay,
no school, excuse me for a moment. No state in the whole Nigeria. When you talk about secondary school structures and primary school structures, no state can be compared to Borno State as far as Nigeria is concerned. If you say it is not Shettima that did everything, fine. But he was able to identify an individual who can even build what he has started, and they are doing fine. They are doing better.
Okay, thank you very much. Before we move to the second question, which is going to be the last question, and I'm going to give each of you 2 minutes to answer that question. I want to say that people that are watching us can drop their comments, and we can take 1 or 2 comments from Facebook or YouTube, and we can throw those comments if there are questions to our debaters. So now, I want to start from what you said last, Mr. Oluwatobi. You said we should remember that it's someone that owns the mandate, and that these people we are debating, they are just running mates. So now let's combine the running mates and the presidential candidate. Let's combine them together now. So looking at, I want to start with you, Mr. Afolabi. Looking at Atiku Okowa, how do you think they are the best to tackle 3 problems that are currently facing Nigeria: insecurity, youth unemployment, and the issue of out-of-school children? How do you think Atiku and Okowa, they are the best to tackle these 3 problems at this time? And the same question for Korede and for Oluwatobi. But go first, Afolabi. You are muted.
You are muted.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. It is generally said that the best way to predict the future is to look at what someone has done in the past or what he's doing presently. Here we are, Atiku Abubakar. Even the so-called Chibok and insecurity problem that we have in the Northwest. Most of those Chibok girls that were rescued are given scholarship on American University of Nigeria owned by Atiku Abubakar. up to last year when Akinwumi Adesina was invited as a special guest of honor during a valedictory session there. One of the students from Chibok who was given a scholarship to that American University of Nigeria was doing a convocation then. So that shows the passion that Atiku Abubakar has for education. Not only on education, even on security. This man was able to employ local vigilantes. He was not in government when Boko Haram started. Boko Haram started during the area of Yaradua, Bill Jonathan administration. Looking at his record then, he was able to recruit vigilante as an individual, to make sure that the issue of insecurity in Northwest, especially Adamawa State, where is his own state, was actually brought down to the BRS minimum. So he's well equipped, he's well experienced, he's well connected. The other time he was talking about empowerment, how he was able to use his microfinance, standard microfinance bank, to actually raise over 40,000 women out of poverty. And then he said he even came up with a practical experience that the best way to remove a family out of poverty is to empower the women, judging by his own experience. So these are things he has laid his hand to. These are things he has seen results. As I'm talking to you presently, he's the second highest employer of labor in Adamawa State. Even in Rivers State, he's a hinter, employs thousands of people there. So I think his experience is well equipped. I wish Nigeria sent us in this direction and give him that ticket, because I've never, in my designing mind, I've never seen a combination that is well prepared to actually take up our challenges from day one in office, more than this duo. You understand? So
thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay. Let's stop there. So over to you, Mr. Korede. How do you think Peter Obi, Dati Baba Ahmed ticket is the best for Nigeria at this critical stage to solve the problem of youth unemployment, insecurity, and out-of-school children?
For anyone who knows Anambra, you would know that back in the day, it used to be notorious for a place even where Eagles who were visiting from outside found difficult to visit. But as a result of the things this man has done, things have gotten a lot better there. Yeah, he changed the economy of the state. He was able to cut a lot of wastage in government spending. He was a man that took charge. Not once did we hear that the government is beating people up or using force against its citizens. That's the kind of man Peter Obi is. He has proven to all of us, including those who are not supporting him, that he has what it takes, the skills, the leadership skills, the intelligence, the competence to lead this nation. We have seen that. And his combination with the person of Dati Baba Ahmed would mean a great deal for this nation. I mentioned earlier that Nigeria needs a reset. The international community has lost confidence in the kind of people that are running our economy. For people to come and invest in our country, which we need to boost our economy, to boost the middle class, we need foreign direct investment. We need a reset. We need someone in whom the international community can have confidence. And these guys present us with this great opportunity. Dati Baba Ahmed, for instance, sponsored a bill against inflated contracts in government. Only person that has ever done that. This is a place that politicians don't like to go to because almost all of them benefit from it. Legislators, executive, even the judiciary, all of them, almost all of them, for you to stand against what majority of them benefit from, it means you are a different breed. We need these kind of persons. And I mentioned earlier, he's talked about how they want to build the economy, how they want to, particularly Peter Obi has said that Nigeria should move from a state from where a state where the administrative states depend on the federal government, but to productivity. You cannot continue to be spending and not be producing. No, that's the focus. That's the goal. That's the vision these guys bring to the table.
Yeah, I think the points are well taken now. Because of our time, I would have loved that we continue, but we need to manage time. So I go to you, Mr. Oluwatobi. Why do you think Bola Ahmed Tinubu Shettima ticket is the best for Nigeria at this critical stage to solve the problem of insecurity, youth unemployment, and out of school children?
Yeah, thank you very much for a wonderful moment like this. Once again, I want to commend the organizers of this program. But to cap it all, like you said, we need a capable hand as a people and as a country, and we need someone who actually understands the terrain, who knows the system, who knows what the people are suffering. Yes, when you look at the system of Nigeria, we need people who can actually who are the discoveries. Sorry, who can actually fathom purposeful leadership. Those that can say the person that you can't be everywhere as a person. You can't be everywhere. I mean, as a president, and you have to delegate an individual. Look at people that has walked around Tinubu and see the difference. One, two. When you look at his government and governance in Lagos State, it is second to none, not comparable. Now, in the area of education, if you are to be sincere, Lagos State is a state that you don't say this is an indigent, this is non-indigent. Everything it does is for everybody. Now, he rehabilitated and rejuvenated the education sector, public education sector in Lagos State, both primary and secondary schools. Reconstruction of schools, payment of WAEC and NECO for good 8 years. It doesn't meet. It is the one that's initiated in it as far as Nigeria is concerned. Initiated it. It doesn't stop for a single year. WAEC and NECO for everybody, whether you are Hausa, whether you are Muslim or you are Igbo or you are Calabar or Calabari, whatever you call yourself. As far as you stay in Lagos and you school in Lagos, you are entitled to it. In fact, when you talk about loot, if it is the efforts of Tinubu that put loot to a better place, that everybody, even the international, the WHO, every other affiliated health organizations, when they are coming to Nigeria, the loot is their reference point. If you remember during the days of coronavirus, even Abuja could not help. Loot is their reference point, and many other affiliated in Lagos State. So he is not afraid to inject money in an appropriate place at the right time to ensure there is a drastic change, development. Now, when you talk about transport system, look at Lagos transport system as far as Nigeria is concerned, and I compare it to every other person. It is the template of Tinubu. Now, he started the bus transit before the coming of Fashola that introduced BRT. He started the transport system, and when you look at it today, aside from the interstate bus system, Lagos State is having interstate train transit. Go and look.
Thank you.
So
thank you very much.
It's incomparable. The template has been there, and he knows how to handle it. If he can do it in Lagos, he can do it in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. I'm sure that our viewers have learned a lot from the debate that we've had today. I'm sure that they've picked one or two points from what you guys have said. All of you have said that the peers of Peter Obi and Dati Baba Ahmed, the peers of Tinubu and Shettima, and that of Atiku and Nkua are the best. But I'm sure that based on what you have said, our viewers will understand which of these peers is the best actually for the country. So on this note, I want to thank you, Mr. Korede Oludiran, for your time on our show today, and Mr. Honorable Oluwatobi Ebiwonjumi. Thank you very much, and Mr. Afolabi Sanni. We are grateful to have you, and for our viewers, please visit our Facebook page and our YouTube channel to see our previous edition.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. To see our previous videos and also our future, and like our page and subscribe to our channel to see our future page. The round 4 of this debate will come up on the 30th of July this year, 30th of July 2022. Thank you very much, everyone, and this is where we call it a day for today.
Yeah, thank you for the wonderful moment, man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.